live on YouTube, live on YouTube, live on YouTube, live on YouTube. Okay, so I'm just straightening up my background. I just left from my other channel. Okay. It's What's on Your Mind with Sunshine. Okay. That's our channel where we do a lot of little fun stuff. All right. Okay, so live on YouTube, live on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for allowing me to have this platform and so many others. I'm excited. I am excited. I'm excited. I'm just getting my little tools up from my other page together and put up and everything. Welcome in. Like I said, it's Cheryl Shauna, aka Sunshine Murray on Instagram. And today we have a very special topic we're going to talk about, and it's one that we all need help on, and that is good listening skills. Learning how to listen, okay? We need to have good listening skills. We need to learn how to listen. Okay, we need to learn how to listen. So, how can we do that? And excuse me while I am cleaning up the setup. Okay, there we go. I like to get all of my tools together and everything. So, what is listening? What is listening? What is listening? Is there a definition of listening? Listening is the act of taking in vibrations. So, inside of our ears, we have these frequencies. Those frequencies in our ears are vibrations. And what those vibrations do, they take on sound, they take on travel, they take on words, and they take on things that we basically need to hear, that we need not to hear. So it's a vibration, it's a frequency. So listening is the act of our ears receiving vibrations from the things around that gives them vibration. So when you're listening and talking, all kind of vibrations are going around. So that's why they say the power of the of life is in the tongue and things like that. What you put into the atmosphere would come. And so listening is more than just the word. It's more than just the listen. It actually becomes a thing that we need to do now. Now that we're listening, it's causing us to feel the vibration and take action of what we're listening to. Okay, so sometimes we could be in the middle of a conversation and we might feel that that person is cutting us off, but what is happening is we are triggering something in that person and they want to get their part of the conversation in. So being a good listener is about being a good receiver also, and it's about receiving and responding to what you are listening to. And are you giving the correct response? Okay. And in some incidents, if you're in a room full of people, because there's all different types of listening vibrations going on here. You can have a listening situation where it's a wife and husband, a listening situation where it's a parent and a child, a listening situation where there's a supervisor involved, a listening situation where you are just in a room talking to people and they need to comprehend. You could be teaching or something. So all different types of listening situations, but it's about comprehending also what the person is saying, and that's what the problem comes in at. We get all of these emotions and things like that, and we need to try to comprehend what the person is saying before we cut them off or interject, because sometimes when we're listening, we're not totally hearing everything. So it takes a time for it to process. And so being a good listener is learning when to close your mouth and listen, and try to receive what the person is saying, their viewpoint of it, even if you agree with it or not. But what comes to listening is sometimes our ego get in the way. And if the person is not talking about what you want to hear, then you are not trying to hear that. So that's how arguments come, that's how disagreements come, and all of that. And so the person is definitely not trying to hear what you're saying. But if we want to have listening skills, the first step, the first key, one of the first R's is respect. So I want to teach you the 3 R's of listening today. So the first R of listening is respect. Respect everyone's opinion, even if you believe if it's true or not. Respect when someone is talking, that means don't cut them off. Respect their point of view, respect their ideas, and respect their opinions. Respect doesn't mean that you have to agree with their ideas or their opinions or not. This is the 3 R's of listening. So the first R is respect. Respect what this person is saying. Everybody in the room that's listening or talking should respect definitely what the other person is saying. Respect what they're saying, respect what they're talking about, and respect their time. And don't cut them off, and let them say what they got to say, because everybody, if we do this, everybody is going to get their chance to talk, and everybody is going to get their chance for people to respect that they're talking and what they're saying. So the first rule in listening is there's 3 R's, right? The first R in the rule of listening is respect. Okay. Okay, so that is the first R of listening. All right. And so now when we're talking, I learned in a speech class that you begin to lose the interest of someone in 30 seconds. And our minds, it's the way that our minds are built. We begin to lose our mind process, we begin to lose interest. Our mind process stems to go in other directions. Okay. Our mind process will just go in another direction. It doesn't matter. This person could be talking about $1 million. But I learned that in speech class that you have to gather that person's attention within the first 30 seconds. Because if you don't, um, they're going to lose what you're saying. So what we need to do, if we know that that's a problem in listening, okay, we need to start remembering what the person is saying. Okay, we're giving them the respect, and now we need to start remembering what the person is saying. So now that's where that physical process of our mind comes in at. Now this person is talking to me. Now I got to remember what this person is saying. Now, this is a lot to process, okay? Because it's hard for us to remember what the person is saying, okay? Now, it's hard for us to remember what we are saying at times. All right. So we got to get our mindset to focus on what this person is saying. The way that we can remember what this person is saying by asking questions, not cutting them off, but while they're talking, just confirming that fact or confirming that that's at that. Not that is this is what they're saying. Not being combative or debative, but just for example, if they said the orange car was at the finish line. Okay, so a few seconds later, just so you can remember the fact or the point that that person is trying to make, you can remember and just confirm, okay, the orange car was at the finish line. not the blue car, not the green car, but the orange car. Be specific. Make sure you get the details, because whatever this person is trying to say to you may be important. It may not sound important while it's coming out, but it may be important, especially in cases if it's an argument or something like that. Usually there's just a lot of miscommunication when it's dealing with the argument. Okay. And so you got to remember key points in what this person was saying while they were talking, or while they were giving a speech, or while you were at a meeting, or while your supervisor was yelling across the room. It could have been like, hey, make sure at 5 you could have a busy day, and you got to remember what your supervisor said in the midst of a busy day. Make sure at 5 you take the mail, or something like that, just for an example. So the second key in being a good listener, step number 2. Step number 1 is having respect for the person that's talking at the time. Everybody take their turn, respect each other. Okay. Step number 2, further along in the process, because you got to get to some type of conclusion, some type of agreement, some type of conclusion. Further along in the process, you could remember the key points and what this person was saying to make what they feel important. Okay. So the third R, the second R in listening is a remembering. Okay. And then upon remembering, as you begin to respect, remember what the individual is saying, remember what this person is saying, you will begin to review everything that you remembered. So we got to respect when the person is talking, or when it's our time. Give them our undivided attention. Don't stray here, don't stray there, because you might lose some key information that can cause it's a miscommunication, or you being a listener, if that's any such thing, a listener. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is review the information. Review the information of what they were saying. Wrap up your conversation, or even if it's a presentation at work, just reviewing some of the things that was talked about. If it's a relationship between you and your lover, review some of the things that your lover said that they liked or that they didn't like, or if they were just having a bad day and it was because of this and because of that. Review that situation and make solutions for that situation. If it's a situation to where it's an argument and you guys are not agreeing, we know how each other stand. We don't have to agree, but we respect each other. We remembered what each other was saying. We reviewed the information of what each other was saying. Okay. And we got to the process to say we can love each other and learn how to disagree. And we can also know that it's okay to disagree and see different ideas and different aspects of a certain situation. And that's when you begin to compromise. But those are other things that we are going to get into. Today, we're just basically touching some simple keys and some simple, whoa, what was in there? And some simple instructions how to be a good listener. Okay. Now, if you have any ideas on being a great listener, if you have any situations, share them with us. Share your comments with us. If you want to tell us your experience about being a good listener, being a bad listener, or if you want to share your experience on how do you get others to be a good listener, just watch this video. Subscribe to this content. It's free. Hit the like button where you can get more content like this, and tell them about the 3 R's: respect, remember, and review. That is the way to become a good listener. In short, that's just what it is. Yes, I'm working on that. That's a money jar. And I'm working on, that's a beautiful money jar, isn't it? I'm working on cleaning that up for a client. Okay. Now, so I need you guys to start subscribing to this channel. Like the channel. Subscribe to What's on Your Mind with Sunshine on YouTube. Subscribe to the DET Awards channel. And today I relaunch the Cheryl Webb channel. That's a channel that you all want to go to because that is the channel that has all of your community resources on that channel. I'm letting everybody know what all the community resources that's available because it's so many resources available, but people don't know because they don't have access to those resources. So you want to go over to the Cheryl Webb Community Resource Channel. All of this is on YouTube. I am Cheryl Webb on Facebook. I am Cheryl Webb I am Cheryl Shauna on Facebook. I am Cheryl Shauna on Facebook, Sunshine Murray on IG, and Cheryl Shauna 10,000 on TikTok. Now, we have got to do our read. It has been so long since we did our read. So remember, I was doing the stories, the short time stories. So now what we're doing is we're doing reads. So now I have a book that I have been sharing, and it's very important. And where is it? And I'm gonna just read a little sample out of this book. I try to do something to encourage people like myself who have a problem with procrastination. Some of you guys don't have a problem with procrastination. You see the assignment, you know what it is. You got one job to do, and you're on it. Some of us are not that fortunate. So this is a book by Andrew Santella, and it's called Soon. Okay, and this book is an overdue history of procrastination from Leonardo and Darwin to you and me. So Leonardo and Darwin, yes, our famous Leonardo and Darwin, they had issues, serious issues with procrastination. I mean, lifetime issues with procrastination. And this book depicts the things that they went through, that they basically what this book is talking about. You can still be active in other things, but have be have a procrastination in the things that you need to be doing, and you can have a procrastination in things that need to be done, but you can also be doing other things and it's just distracting you. And its books talks about how hard it is to do what we are supposed to do. We can do everything in the world but do what we are supposed to do, and that's what this book's talk about. And I'm going to go to where we left off at, and it starts with I have never prayed to expedite, but I share his devotees optimism. Their faith, their good things will come. Procrastinators may be depressed, delusional, self-destructive, but we also optimists. We believe that there will always be a better time than the present to do what needs to be done. Optimism is the quality most often overlooked in procrastinators. For us, tomorrow is always brimming with promise. There can be something thrilling about your delay. Maybe it is the thrill of transgression, the high that comes along with not doing what you're supposed to do when you are supposed to do it. There must be a reason based in the principles of narrative, presumably that superheroes are always waiting until the last moment to arrive and save the day. Superheroes play a secular version of religious conversion, transforming themselves from everyday, frail beings to others, most robust ones, while somehow remaining the same beings, all in services of producing some kind of salvation. Augustine liked to portray mortal life itself as a pause. He called it the delay from which I suffer. He considered it an irksome postponement of eternal life, waiting for believers. Augustine was impatient to get on with it. That's optimistic. My optimism peaks almost immediately after I wake up. I'm always like mornings, and I am less self-pitying, less of pain in the ass than at any other time of the day. In the morning, anything seems possible. I am brimming with ideas, potential, love for others. I cannot be stopped. But by 4 in the afternoon, I have given up entirely on myself and on humanity. This is why late afternoon is a peak procrastination time. This is why, when desperately I give up on the day and invest everything into tomorrow. I have made a religion of bailing out of the present and living for tomorrow morning. Belief in tomorrow is a specific is a species of faith. If I only can make it until tomorrow, mm, it seems to me everything will be new again. Hope resurrected. For procrastinators, hope always trumpets over experience. I suppose that's a pretty workable definition of faith. The day I finally got to meet Father Tony at Our Lady of Guadalupe, I found myself with a few minutes to kill, so I decided to duck into the church. It was about 4 in the afternoon and a few blocks away on Bourbon Street. The partying was already well underway. On my way over, I passed a nightclub where in front of the door stood a woman in hot pants with her companion, a muscle shirt dude with 3 trunk arms and a ponderous gut. She called out at me, "Come party with us, honey." Something, maybe the presence of the dude in the muscle shirt, made me pretend I hadn't heard. Inside Our Lady of Guadalupe, things were quieter. An elderly woman prayed a rosary near the place that prayed a rosary near the altar. In the back of the church sat a few people who looked as if they might not have anywhere else to go, loitering in the pews. The church tickled in the heat. No one was paying much attention to Saint Expedite. In the early Christian church, it was almost universally expected that the last days and final judgment were imminent. Around the corner, sure to come sooner rather than later, the expectation drove some people slightly crazy. Every few decades or so, frenzied panic would overcome large groups of believers, certain of the need to repent before it was too late. They gave away all they had, formed Masonic mobs, walked across Europe to visit holy sites, and launch violent crusades. The kind of anxiety is not unique to believers who hasn't feared missing out, waiting too long, being left behind. Living with urgency requires belief in something, even if it's something no bigger than your insignificant self. The most religion question most of all of us ask is, why am I here? But how much longer do I have? So this is a good book by Andrew Santella. It talks about learning not to procrastinate, to get up and do things right away. It talks about how two famous people spent the majority of their life procrastinating, but they got it together at the end. If you have any books that you would like to share, any reads that you would like to go over, just let us know. But if you have any tips on how not to procrastinate, just let us know. Just put it in the comments. Thank you, you guys. I thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. I thank you guys for liking. I thank you guys for sharing. Come on back. Thank you for being here. Just let me know you were here. Put something in the comments. Let me know if you like this content. Okay, it's about listening. Good listening skills. The 3 R's. Remember when listening. Remember the 3 R's. Respect, remember, and review. Those are the 3 R's for listening. It's Cheryl Shauna, aka Sunshine Marie.